It's a 43-degree day in Tennant Creek, and for Norm and Frank Juparula, that used to mean trouble. As the temperatures soar, so do electricity costs for his household of 7.
Well, I was thinking about power all the time. What do I think about, because we've got to be careful. Put them on the leg and shit.
For Norm and other people who call the desert home, staying cool is a matter of life and death.
Once temperatures go above about 41 to 42 degrees Celsius inside your body, your proteins start to denature and you literally start to cook. And so when the temperature outside is above 40 degrees Celsius, it's really dangerous weather for anybody. And if you can't find shelter from that extreme heat, then everybody's in trouble.
Norm is a renal patient, which means he's even more susceptible to the heat, and he needs to keep some of his medicine refrigerated. Like most Indigenous public housing tenants in the NT, Norm prepays for his electricity, which is expensive and means that without careful planning, his power can cut out at any moment.
If the power goes off during the day, you'll cook. It's really hot.
Despite being a board director for several community organizations and having had a long career in public health, Norm isn't always in a position to top it up.
Me and I get it every fortnightly, see? And sometimes we're out of power on our off weeks. And lucky we got friends,
Tennant Creek is hot and getting hotter. In the last year, temperatures have soared past 40 degrees nearly 50 times, which means having access to reliable electricity and reliable cooling is more important than ever. In a first for the territory, Norm's taken his power supply into his own hands.
Now I don't have to pay electricity anymore, no more. Only a little bit of money now.
He's done what no other prepaid power user in the NT has done: installed and switched on rooftop solar.
We're lucky, I reckon. Split system goes, during the day when it's really hot day, and at night we don't have to, sleep outside or suffer now with that heat. Now we live in luxury now, I reckon.
Thanks to rooftop solar, Norm has more than 2/3 of his electricity costs covered, leaving him with a lot more money in his pocket to look after his family, and with a lot less anxiety. According to new research from ANU, in 1 year, 9 out of 10 public housing homes in the NT were temporarily disconnected because they ran out of credit. And almost 3/4 of residents were disconnected more than 10 times, for periods of anywhere between an hour or two to overnight. Norm's solar panels were paid for by a community development organization who want to see solar become an option for the 10,000 homes in the NT that use a prepaid meter.
This was a house that was really worthy of a case study to look at what were the structural barriers that were preventing Indigenous households and communities from accessing the benefits of rooftop solar like everyone else in the Northern Territory can currently enjoy.
They found plenty of roadblocks.
There weren't any clear rules for households like Norm's in town camps or remote communities that would allow people to connect rooftop solar through a prepaid meter.
I pushed my way with the government and then pushed my way with the housing and that. Then I had to push my way with bloody power and water. Power and water, the one been really hold up because they was talking about the meter.
He has opened the door for so many other Territorians living in public housing in the bush, and most importantly send a strong message that, particularly Aboriginal people are very conscious about their energy use and about global warming and climate change.
But there is still a long way to go. Proponents of rooftop solar say there are 4 key barriers to rolling solar out across the territory's public housing. It's expensive, first of all, and tenants need permission to install it. But once it's up, there's also a clause in the tenant's rental agreement that means the panels need to be removed at the tenant's expense when they move out. And finally, there still isn't a tariff set up to allow people like Norm to get paid for the power they give back to the grid. But community leaders like Norm are hopeful and are calling on the territory government to make rooftop solar a possibility for all public housing tenants, as Indigenous organizations across the territory look to the future. Here in Alice Springs, Tangentyere Council, who administer town camps, is taking notice.
Tang is trying to put that forward to Jakarta Energy to help vulnerable people like town campers to fight to install some solar powers into their houses.
They'll try to stop you. I said they'll try, but all you got to do is just keep pushing. Just keep on shaking the bush. That's the only way. If you don't shake the bush, nobody will listen to you, true, I tell you.
A light on the horizon. Samantha Joncher, ABC News.